Saudi Arabia, get your zoot suits, music in minor.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rips. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube miss, sign off and imitating. Never duplicate a superstar Tim Vincent. Gonna go over Raw this week. Was in Wilkes-Barre, PA, Keystone. And I'm not gonna lie, man. The show itself was good, but man, it's like Wilkes-Barre just hit mute. Like, no lie, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed on that. For shame on you, Wilkes-Barre, you let me down. You let one of your own Pennsylvania boys down. For shame. Now, normally this is the part where we talk about the SmackDown Rewind. However, SmackDown last week was pre-taped, and honestly, other than Ray and Gunther, which was much to no surprise Gunther won, not much else really on there to talk about. And and like I said, it was pre-taped because the following day Crown Jewel was in Saudi Arabia. And I say this every year when the Crown Jewel show comes up, but I always find it kind of funny because the people that are always up in arms saying WWE is taking blood money from Saudi Arabia, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 have absolutely zero problem taking handouts from the government, and lordy knows darn how bloody their hands are. And not only that, I'm going to get a little long-winded here, so bear with me. If, people say they want you'd make the whole argument about peace in the Middle East kind of thing. You want help. You want to help with some things with over there in Saudi Arabia and such. Country that doesn't have very much Western culture influences. And obviously I'm not talking about girls walking around wearing booty shorts or a Starbucks on every corner type shit, but you want to introduce small little things. One of the easiest conduits to help connect all countries: sports, athletics. You don't believe me? Look every 4 years at the fucking Olympics. Athletics. And, well, there you go. That's one way. This is really... Them doing this really is kind of like, in a way, what... part of it, what WWE doing with that, almost kind of in a way what WCW was doing back in the early 90s when they did that one show in North Korea. And, if you listen to Eric Bischoff talk about it, his main inspiration on that, aside from wanting to get publicity, and aside from Inoki looking to try and get some political pull, he was very much so inspired by Ted Turner's idea of sports and athleticisms being a conduit to help connect countries and cultures that don't see eye to eye on shit. And honestly, that really is. That is one of the best and biggest ways to connect countries and cultures who, may be feuding with each other back and forth, blood feuds, like Hatfields and McCoys, all that jazz. Getting ready to go and rip someone's throat out. But hey, can agree. Such and such guy is hands down one of the best rugby players, or such and such guy is hands down one of the best wrestlers. Or this guy is the best swimmer, or sharpshooter, or archery, whatever. Some type of athletics. At the end of the day, we can all sit down, have a drink, and agree to disagree that we think this person is a great athlete or this person should be considered a great athlete. Yeah. as far as the show Crown Jewel itself, honestly, only like, it was a decent show, but only 3 matches were like major standouts. The Usos going against the Brawling Brutes, Bianca versus Bayley, and Roman versus Logan Paul. And I'm going to just say it now. Logan Paul, hands down, still one of, if not the biggest douche nozzles out there on the internet. However, I will respect the fact that he went into the ring, and respect the fact that he put on a hell of a show, and respect the fact that he did half of that match with his leg pretty much fucking completely torn to shreds. Tore his ACL, MCL, and meniscus halfway through the match and still kept on going without fucking telling anyone or showing any signs that it was hurt. So, yeah, I tip my hat to, to working that hard, because like the old saying goes, you never really work until you've worked hurt. And, he did. I give him that respect. Outside of that, though, no, he's still the biggest douche nozzle out there. So, yeah. Now with that said, let's get into this week's show. Raw, Wilkes-Barre, PA, here we go. And it starts out with the Usos and Solo out there. Usos gloating and bragging about on how they won at Crown Jewel, and on how Roman is still champ, and on how they're going to destroy the New Day's tag title reign. And then, speak of the devil, you conjure him up, out come the New Day. Woods and Kofi come out, and now you say you're better, but let's look at the facts. You are chasing our record, so if anything, we're still number 1, and you're chasing after us. And we fought and clawed. We are great first generational talents. We had to fight to get where we were at. And Woods was straight up fire with his promo when he had the mic. Saying, you didn't spend all your time in the back in catering hoping you weren't fired. You didn't spend your time in the back making a YouTube channel so that way you had something to fall back on if you did. You didn't have to fight dealing with being a preacher talking about positivity. We were handed nothing and worked and clawed and fought for what we had, and we did, and we succeeded where everyone said we wouldn't. Whereas for you guys were handed everything. You guys were given the goal. You guys, just because of your family and who you're related to. Go ahead, come on in. Go ahead. You want a tag titles? Here's the tag title. You want this? Go ahead. Basically going like that. And then Usos, whoa. Now we had to work for our stuff, but let's not forget, if we didn't forfeit, Kofi right here would have never had the world title. So why don't you would have never had Kofi Mania. You would have never had that moment with your kids running around in the ring. So why don't you go and be a good dad, stay home on Friday, hang out with your boys. Kofi just like, Kofi just kind of had that look like, we bringing kids into this now. Hold on now, because now I'm gonna get all legit on your ass. He had that look on his face. Excuse me. That one creeped up out of nowhere. Then Kofi was so. Now, what kind of father would I be if I stayed home and stayed with my kids instead of showing them, no, Daddy's a hard ass worker. Dad goes out there to earn his keep. Dad goes out there to prove that he is who he is. No, you want me to go and do that? No. So you know what? Come Friday, you boys better be ready, because we are going to whoop your ass something fierce and become tag champs again, and then out comes Matt Riddle, and Ugh. Riddle comes out then, riding the scooter, carrying his bong O's, and then Riddle just looks at Woods. Hey, listen, Elias has got his guitar, I got my bong, you got your trombone, we're getting a band up, you want to hit my bong? And then Woods, doot, 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 doot. And then Kofi, boop, ba-doot, doot. So, if anyone wants to take any part of this show out of context, this is the perfect sentence for it. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston hit Matt Riddle's bong on live television. Let's hope that sentence has a lot of fun play on the internet. Afterwards, Riddle went over to the Usos. Jimmy, Jay, come on, I know you guys want to take a hit off my bong. Jay then started going and tapping. Bum 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 bum. Whoa, 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 bro! You know the rules. Tap, tap, pass. Which, yeah, no lie. Back in my days in college, I did a lot of tap, tap, pass. But moving forward, everyone was tensions were getting high. Things were getting as a war, and then next thing you know, by the power of Teddy Long, we had ourselves a 6-man tag team match. Players! Holla, 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 holla. So yeah, our first match of the night. Usos and Solo Sikoa going against the New Day and Matt Riddle. Far as the match went, nice, good, solid opening. Riddle wound up becoming the punching bag after the commercial break. Then Woods wound up getting the tag in. Started cleaning up pretty good. Tagged in Kofi. They started hitting some pretty hard and heavy double teams. And then Kofi eventually wound up becoming the punching bag for a little bit. And then Riddle got the second hot tag in. Started going ballistic on everyone, hitting anything that was moving basically. And then eventually wound up getting Jimmy, I believe it was Jimmy, and hit him with the draping DDT, a la Shades of Randy. And then when Riddle wasn't looking, Solo did a blind tag, hit Jimmy with an RKO. Then did an RKO. Yeah, it was Jimmy. Hit him with an RKO, and then Solo came in, hit him with that spinning Uranagi. They're calling it a spinning Solo. The commentators are, and then got the 1, 2, 3. So that was it. So your winners are the Usos and Solo Sikoa. What that shapes up for Friday, I don't know. It's a flip of the coin right there on that call. Next up, JBL comes out as the Wrestling God. Completely bad-mouthing the Phillies for losing to the Astros at the World Series, which, thanks a lot, guys. And then announces the modern-day wrestling god, Baron Corbin, who then has a match against one Cedric Alexander. Good, solid, fast action. Really got a chance to have Cedric have time to shine. Got a chance to get, I don't want to say he got his shit in, because, you know, it just sounds cliche, but it gave him a chance to remind everyone, hey, I'm here. I can still do the hot shit. Y'all want to see? Hold my beer. Watch this. Match came to an end when Cedric, he went to go and bounce off the ropes. Bounce himself off the ropes. Corbin caught him in midair and then boom, popped him with the end of days. 1, 2, 3. That is it. And I'm feeling kind of conflicted now because I don't like Corbin. Oh, I don't want to say, I can't say I don't like him, but never been a fan of him. But I've never not been a fan of him. Always been indifferent. You know, the only time I ever really liked him when he was bum-ass, poor as a, you know, broken and disheveled, kind of like me when I was dating that one nursing student back in college. But yeah, and this, I don't know, maybe it's because JBL is like saying a bunch of shit to piss people off, is kind of making me like him, but I don't know. Oof. Next up, we got Otis going against Elias, and there was a lot of talk about Otis on the internet over the past few weeks, over the past few days, because Otis openly shared with the world he's dyslexic and has dealt with reading issues his entire life, and just WWE helped him with learning on how to work around it, and wound up actually finishing his first book from cover to cover just a few days ago. And speaking as a dyslexic guy, listen, I can tell you firsthand, that is hard as hell. I mean, I still got books from like a year ago I still haven't finished because it's hard to. That's why I mostly stuck with comics, because it was easier to read. But it is. And, you know, to the big guy, I give him bad props for it. As far as this match went, Otis, man, he was powering Elias through and through throughout the entire time. And at one point, Elias had him up, tried to get him up for a scoop slam, got him up this far, and then, boom! And then just dead weight dropped right on him. All I could think, it looked almost kind of like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon where, boom! I was just kind of hoping we were going to see Elias like flat like a pancake, just like, just needing to get scraped off the mat. But no. Anyways, as far as the ending went, Elias, he started to build up a small little bit of a comeback, hit a couple jumping knees, popped one onto Gable, who was on the apron trying to distract him, which was successful, turned around. Otis scooped him up, and then, boom, hit him with the world's strongest slam, 1, 2, 3, that was it. Next up, we got Austin Theory going against Shelton Benjamin, and this came to be because of a backstage interview earlier in the day where Shelton was trying to bestow some words of wisdom to him as a veteran in the business. And then Theory, I'm the youngest Money in the Bank winner. I am relevant. Let me ask you this. When's the last time Shelton Benjamin didn't even, not so much have a win, but had a match on Raw? Tell you what, how about we do this tonight and I'll show you. Oh, okay, it's on. So, yeah. As far as the match went, Theory, he was leading the pace, but there was a lot of good back and forth, man, and, you know, and it was played heavy on the commentary on how much Benjamin was part of that illustrious OVW class that Cena, Orton, Batista, and Brock Lesnar came out of. And that was and still is probably one of the most successful classes from OVW. But, you know, goddamn, it drives me up a wall on how much Shelton Benjamin gets glossed over on that. Especially when you look over when Shelton worked with Brock in OVW as part of the Minnesota Stretching Crew, and it's also been open knowledge. He worked with Brock for his wrestling, not in the ring, but the amateur style. So, yeah, Shelton Benjamin, legit badass. Dude could legit hurt you and stretch you if he wanted to. And so, decent match though. Little short for my personal taste, but match came to an end when Shelton had Theory up on his shoulders in a fireman's carry. Theory then raked the eyes, got down, hit him with the ATL, 1, 2, 3. This was not Shelton Benjamin's night because earlier in the night, Styles, Gallows, and Anderson confronted Judgment Day. They addressed their quote-unquote Rhea problem with a solution to it in the likes of the return of Mia Yim. Really cool and glad to see her back. And man, this is not Shelton Benjamin's night because not only did he lose on the first match in a couple months on Raw, but Mia Yim's back in the same company he's working in as well. Oh boy, man, I feel sorry for him. Anyways, next up we got Miz versus Johnny Gargano. Now before the match even started, Johnny wound up addressing the whole WWE investigation thing, saying, yeah, it was a little fabricated, yes. but it was in hopes of you fully admitting everything. But since you didn't, Mike, the interview you had with the producer earlier in the week, well, she was really a private investigator who had a hidden camera, and, well, and then Johnny went into his trunks and, well, this universal remote just so happens to work on the Tron right here, so, click, click, and then they showed the interview where Miz is talking to this producer, and Miz openly admits, yeah, he paid Loomis to attack him so that way he can get some publicity, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 that kind of jazz. And then he goes back in. So now we get to the match. Gargano, very much so, kind of, excuse me, Jesus, it's another cough. Gargano, Johnny was pretty much leading the pace. It was very much so a Johnny-paced match. Miz, he was getting his licks in, but, you know, Johnny Gargano was leading and dictating it. If you go back and you know what to look for, you could see it. Match came to an end when Miz, he was on the outside, was like, oh, freaking out, like, you know, at one point, like, someone under the ring, someone's under the ring. Ref goes to look under there, he's like, no, someone's there, just look. All the while, Miz is hiding that he's got a turnbuckle beam, turnbuckle post hidden on him, and then when Johnny goes to grab him, next you know, boom, jabs him with it. So yeah, that's it. 1, 2, 3. Miz gets the win, and afterwards, then Dexter Lumis comes out, cracks him with a couple chairs, and then runs off. Next up, we got Nikki Cross going against Dana Brooke, and this is interesting because earlier in the night, Damage Control came out, addressed on how they're the champ, or not Damage Control, I'm sorry, Bianca, Asuka, and Bliss came out, addressed on how they addressed what happened at Crown Jewel, where Asuka and Bliss lost the women's tag titles, and then Damage Control came out, addressed on how they won, and Dakota Kai, with quite possibly the most hilarious slip of words ever, is, Bianca, how about we talk about the fact you haven't eaten Bailey yet, which, okay, listen, for the 30th anniversary of Raw, they showed the logo, it's Raw is XXX, so, hear me out on this. Raw is XXX, Bianca, Bailey, just have them reenact the Edge and Lita segment. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a brain duster for that one. Anyways, yeah. So, then they get in the ring. Then next thing you know, Io Sky and Asuka, they start screaming at each other in Japanese. And I'm just watching like, I have no idea what they're saying, but I absolutely love every fucking word they're saying. And then, I absolutely love every fucking second of this. And then at the end, all you see is Io say, bitch, like, I understood that. And then, big massive brawl, then Nikki Cross comes out, and then they announce they're going to do a War Games match. So, Nikki is on Team Bailey, Team Bianca is just her, Asuka, and Bliss so far. 10 Get You 20, we're going to have Candice LeRae on there as well. But, moving forward, Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, it's for Dana's coveted 24/7 title, and very much so one-sided, meant to make Nikki shine like $1 million, which she did. Got the win doing that hanging, swinging neck breaker of hers off the rope. And your winner and new 24/7 champ, Nikki Cross, which she then just like, with the belt over her shoulder, like not even holding it or grasping it, like, and then when she, in the back, she's still walking in that kind of trance state, and then just, just goes to toss it in the trash can, but misses by a mile, but yeah. So, this mean the 24/7 title is done? More than likely. Is it set in stone? No. Don't know yet. We just gotta wait and see. So now we come to main event of the night. Seth Rollins doing a US Open challenge, and the challenger is Mustafa Ali appears on the Tron saying, Seth, you want a challenger? I'm right here. Wow! Gets pulled off the screen. You hear a lot of and then Bobby Lashley gets on the screen. Seth, I'm not US champ for 2 reasons. 1, Brock Lesnar, and 2, you. So, I'm getting back what's mine. And then he comes out. Well, Ali goes to try and attack him like, no, I got it. And then Bobby's just like, nope. Boom, throws him over into a bin, and then comes on out. And then Bobby goes ballistic. Like he goes full-blown animal on him and destroys Seth. To the point where officials are coming down like, Bobby, listen. If you keep doing this, we can't do the match. We cannot do a match if you keep doing this. So Bobby just keeps going and drilling into him. And then afterwards, like, alright, I'm done. As he's walking away, Theory then comes out, cashes in the Money in the Bank, so now we have Austin Theory cashing in for a US title shot against Seth Rollins, and, well, technically, I guess it could work like that, but honestly, it just feels kind of like a cheap move from like the early WWE 2K games where the Money in the Bank was able to be used on any title. And it's just like, yes. Like, nah. Just didn't feel right to me. But, either way, Theory cashed in, and Theory, it was very much so like any other kind of surprise cash in. Theory doing anything possible to try and get it done and over with quick. You know, attacks, takedown, power move, this, that, and the other, anything possible to knock Seth out. And then, next thing you know, as he finally gets the ATL on Seth, 1, 2, wow! Bobby Lashley returns, pulls the ref out, and then Theory, what are you doing? You just cost me it! And then Bobby Lashley then goes ballistic again, this time on Theory, and then leaves. Ref starts to come to, initiates the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Theory gets in at 9, and then Seth, bam, pops him with a curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. And your winner, and still WWE US Champion, Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because his middle name's not frickin'. What they did not show, and it was fan videos showing it out there on the Twitter, was Seth had to be helped carried out. Hopefully that's just work showing for the fans, like, oh no, he's hurt bad. He got hurt real bad. But either way, that is it for this week's show, folks. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. And also, folks, thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, and contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. Easy for me to say. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, make sure you check out whatamaneuver.net for some good Shrance apparel. Help support the show. And it's that perfect time of year to get a gift for somebody you love, somebody you hate, or just need to get a shirt so you can toss it in a Goodwill basket so that way you could say, hey look, I got a shirt for them. Also, folks, do not forget to follow these cool ass cats right on the Twitter. Kenny Killer Diaz V_IV, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants and Dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me.
Big O, double D squirting.
Fuck you.
What's the saying? Ain't certain.